I would like to introduce our speaker this morning or afternoon, depending on the time zone you are in. Cody Farzad is appointed to Employer's Choice Online, a division of Diversified Risk Management, Inc., our parent company, as Director of Operations. For almost 5 years, Cody has been responsible for educating new and prospective clients on all aspects of employment screening, from state and federal laws to industry standards. Cody serves as our in-house expert on the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the FCRA, as well as state and federal guidelines that regulate consumer reporting agencies such as ourselves, more commonly known as CRAs. So without further delay, I would like to introduce Cody and have him take it from here. I do want to let everyone know that we are going to mute everybody because we just don't want any interruptions on our end and there to be distractions. So please save your questions until the end, again, using the chat feature. So Cody, take it away.
So again, like Michelle said, my name is Cody. I'm with Employer's Choice. But the two major takeaways that I want you to get from today's presentation is hopefully you guys are already doing criminal background checks and more importantly having a policy in place. So hopefully my presentation to you will help you improve on your policy, add a few things, and exactly make sure you have all the components within your policy to protect your company and more importantly your employees. What we'll learn today is about the EEOC, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, and they've been in the news recently because what they are trying to do is basically ban credit reports and in their hopes criminal convictions in making employment decisions for new hires. They are getting numerous hundreds upon hundreds of complaints from consumers, from applicants stating that they were discriminated against because of their credit history or for any criminal convictions they've had previously. So we'll get into that, as well as point out the 7 sections that any policy should have, a minimum of the 7 sections. We'll also provide 3 factors in considering or determining whether an employee should be hired within your company. Basically, this will have to do with criminal records, and it's very, very important. Even though you are getting a criminal conviction, you have to really look at the what the conviction was, how long ago it occurred, and most importantly, is it going to be related to the job that they're going to be having with your organization. And then lastly, we'll discuss best practice pointers to reduce your liability. Okay, why implement a background screening policy? First off, and most importantly, it eliminates any claims of discriminatory treatment, i.e. race, color, gender, etc., etc. Again, if you are going to be doing background checks, make sure you have a policy, and within that policy, it'll state certain searches are specific to certain positions. We'll get more into that. And therefore, we'll eliminate anybody's claim that, hey, how come my credit report was ran and John Doe's credit report wasn't ran? And like I said, we'll go more into further detail why you should be running certain searches on certain positions. Also, it fosters a safe workplace. It shows your employees that you're taking every step possible to not hire anyone that may harm them and foster a safe and safe workplace and avoid any kind of negligent hiring claims as well. The policy will also set parameters or matrices for disqualifications of employment. Again, if it's a felony crime that happened 2 years ago and it was assault, obviously you don't want that person working for your company, but you have to make sure that you have that in your background screening policy, as well as maybe any bankruptcies. So if you get a credit report, bankruptcies were reported within the last 5 years, that person's obviously disqualified. However, you want to make sure you have that on paper in your policy. Also, policies are in compliance with laws and federal contracts. Certain states are requiring specific industries, for example, motor carriers, moving companies, home health care agencies. Certain states are requiring that those companies do background checks. And that's a perfect opportunity for those companies to obviously draft a background screening policy, since they have to abide by that as the state law. And it also outlines specific processes that will be used to perform the background check. Who you use, how you use a release, signed release disclosure authorization form, notices that are given to the applicant, handouts that are given to the applicant. Background screening policies also avoid litigation. Again, any kind of claim that a applicant can bring against your company, obviously your background screening policy would be able to back up why you didn't hire that person for whatever reason. Also helps reduce operating costs. Costs a lot of money to hire somebody, train them, pay them. Then you obviously do a background check and something that you didn't like, you didn't hire the person. Well, if you just would have had a background screening policy in place, or maybe even posting a sign that says, hey, we perform background checks on all employees, it's within our policy, you could actually screen out a lot of applicants from that. The 7 crucial sections that every background screening policy should have are the purpose of your policy, and we'll get into each one, the scope of the policy, the responsible organization or whoever within your organization that's going to own the background screening process, as well as sensitive positions, hiring manager's responsibility, how long you should keep records or record retention, and last one is legal compliance.